All right, let's look at the homework 7.5, problem number 3. All right, so we want to find the critical point, and we want to determine if it's a relative max, relative min, or a saddle point. All right, so let's do that. All right, so let's find the critical point first. We take the partial derivative with respect to x. All right. Partial derivative of 7 is going to be 0, it's just a constant. So partial here is going to be negative 2 x minus 7, and the derivative inside is 1, so multiply by 1, so I'm not going to write that. And so partial of this part is going to be 0 because there's no x, it's a constant. Right, so we set that equal to 0, and we can easily see that x is going to have to be equal to 7. Right, then we do the partial derivative with respect to y. Right, partial of that with respect to y is 0. Partial of the second term with respect to y is 0 because there's no y in there. So it's going to be a negative 2 quantity y plus 2, and subtract 1 from the first power times the derivative partial y plus 2 with respect to y is 1. So it's multiplied by 1. So I'm not going to write that, and set that equal to 0. So you can see that the y is equal to negative 2. All right, we have that. All right, then so we have only one critical point, which is 7 comma negative 2. So this is the our critical point. All right, so let's compute this d value. So we need the second partial. So second partial with respect to x is going to be, all right, so partial of that with respect to x is going to be negative 2 is going to be a constant multiple. Partial of that is 1. So it's just going to be negative 2. Right, and how about the partial of y, second partial with respect to y, right? And a similar deal, so negative 2 is a constant multiple. Partial of this part with respect to y is going to be 1, so we got that, all right? And how about the mixed partial? So you have a mixed partial with respect to x and with respect to y. All right, so we take that, and partial with respect to y is going to be 0. All right, so we have that. And here, it actually doesn't depend on the point, so we can find the d value. So this is the same for all points. So you have negative 2 times another negative 2 minus 0 squared. So it's going to be positive. All right, so it's going to be basically a cup shape. So it's facing up and facing up, down depends on the second partial. So we look at the second partial, either one's fine. This is actually negative 2, which means it's going to be facing down. So this means that we have so actually maybe we should do this, right? So D being positive tells you that you're going to have a cup shape either facing up or facing down. If you look at the second partial, right, so you have a second partial is negative, it's going to be facing down. So these two combined, we know that we have a cup shape facing down. So basically, so this is a ballpark idea of what it looks like. So you can see that at this point, you're going to have a local maximum. Right? So point is 7 comma negative 2 is going to have a local maximum, and that's it. All right, so local maximum value, oh, actually, we have to find a value, right? So if you plug in 7 comma negative 2 in there, you can see that the 7 is the highest point. So we know that here, 7, right? And at 7 comma negative 2, And let's see, so it said does not exist, so it does not exist there. I guess we can put the does not exist there too. And here does not exist and does not exist. All right, so let's check the answer. All right, I came back and looks like we got this one correctly. All right, that's it. I hope that this was clear.